everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive. You know how we love to geek out on tech and finance? Well, today we're diving headfirst into the world of AI chips.
AI chips?
Yeah, AI chips. This market is like seriously on fire, even with, the little dip it took recently. So we're going to break down why it's so hot right now and what's making investors drool.
That's exciting.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got this awesome article from the Motley Fool. You know those financial gurus? They always have the inside scoops.
Well, Motley Fool. Yeah, they're a great source.
So let's jump right in. They're predicting that data center spending is going to hit $1 trillion.
Wow.
Yeah, $1 trillion, like with the T.
That's a lot of zeros.
It is. It is. And that's just in the next 5 years. So you can imagine how much that cash is going to be flowing into AI chips because AI needs some serious processing power, right? You've got all these complex algorithms, learning and crunching numbers.
Absolutely. AI is a data monster. It needs to be fed constantly. And that's where these specialized chips come in. They're designed to handle those massive workloads.
So we're talking about training these AI systems, but then also actually using them in real time, like making decisions on the fly.
Right, exactly. Think about self-driving cars or, those personalized recommendations you get online. All that requires lightning-fast processing, and that's what these AI chips are built for.
So this is not just some niche tech thing. This is going to have ripple effects across pretty much every industry.
Oh, yeah. Every industry is going to be touched by AI in some way, whether it's healthcare, finance, manufacturing, you name it. It's going to change the way we do business, the way we live our lives. It's a huge deal.
It is. So let's get down to brass tacks. The Motley Fool article focuses on two companies in particular, Nvidia and Marvell Technology. Have you heard of these guys?
Of course, Nvidia is kind of the big dog in the AI chip world right now.
Yeah, they're like the rock stars.
And Marvell Technology. They're making waves, too. They've got a slightly different approach, but they're definitely a player to watch.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of each company, let's zoom out again for a sec. We're talking about investment opportunities here. And both Nvidia and Marvell, their stock prices have dipped a bit recently.
Yeah, that's right. They've both taken a hit.
But the Motley Fool is saying, hold your horses, this could be a buying opportunity.
Interesting.
Yeah. They're making a case that even though these companies are down, their long-term prospects are still super strong. So we're going to unpack all that.
Okay, sounds good.
So let's start with Nvidia, ticker symbol, NVDA. They're down about 23% from their recent highs, which, for some people, that might seem scary.
Yeah, that's a significant drop.
It is, but the article is still, really optimistic about them. And it's not just hype. They've got some serious firepower.
So what's the secret sauce?
Yeah.
What makes NVIDIA so special?
Well, for one thing, they're the leading provider of these things called GPUs, graphics processing units. Have you heard of those?
GPUs? Yeah, they're like the brains of the operation for AI.
Exactly. And NVIDIA, they've basically cornered the market on these GPUs. They're like the gold standard. And these GPUs are crucial for AI, especially for this process called inferencing. Have you ever heard of that?
Inferencing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where AI gets really interesting. It's like taking all the knowledge that the AI has learned and then applying it to new situations, making predictions, making decisions. It's like AI graduating from school and getting a real job.
I like that analogy. So it's like AI going from student to expert. And that takes a lot of processing power, right?
Oh, yeah, tons of it. Inferencing is actually even more demanding than training the AI in the first place because you're constantly throwing new data at it and expecting it to make sense of it all in real time.
And that's where NVIDIA comes in with their super powerful GPUs.
Exactly. They've got the hardware to handle it, and they're constantly innovating. They've just released this new platform called Blackwell, which is supposedly like 25 times faster for AI tasks than their previous generation.
25 times? That's insane.
And it's not just about speed, it's also more cost-effective, so they're really raising the bar.
No wonder everyone's using their chips. We're talking Amazon, Microsoft, Google, even Elon Musk with his XAI project. They're all on the NVIDIA bandwagon.
It's a pretty impressive list of clients.
It is. And their revenue growth is reflecting that. They're up 78% year over year. I mean, it's huge.
That's a massive jump. That tells you something about the demand for their products.
It does.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, what does all this mean for, our listeners who might be interested in this whole AI chip thing?
Well, for starters, it shows just how important AI chips are becoming across the board.
Yeah.
Whether or not you invest in NVIDIA, directly understanding their trajectory can give you a glimpse into the future of tech.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So if NVIDIA is the king of the hill, are there any other contenders worth looking at?
That brings us to Marvell Technology. They're another company riding the AI wave, though they've taken a bit of a tumble this year, down 33%.
Ooh, that's a steeper drop than NVIDIA. So what's Marvell's story?
They specialize in making chips that move data. faster, which is vital for AI. Think about the massive amounts of data involved in AI applications. You need lightning-fast transfer speeds to make it all work.
So they're like the speed demons of the AI chip world.
Exactly. And what's interesting about Marvell is their focus on custom solutions. They're not just churning out generic chips, they're tailoring them to specific AI needs.
So a more personalized approach. That makes sense. The article also mentioned something about Marvell developing optical data transfer technology. What's that all about?
It's pretty cutting-edge stuff. They're aiming to replace traditional cables with technology that uses light to transmit data similar to fiber optics, but potentially even faster.
Wow, light speed data transfer. I can't even imagine what that would be like. Think about how that could change everything from streaming movies to scientific research.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not just about speed, either. Optical data transfer could also be more energy efficient and reliable than traditional cables.
So it's a win-win-win. Faster, more efficient, and more reliable. Okay, so we've got these two companies, Nvidia and Marvell, both making waves in the AI chip market. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. The recent dip in their stock prices?
Right, both companies have taken a hit, though. Marvell's drop has been steeper, and that's got a lot of people wondering if this is a buying opportunity.
That's what the Motley Fool seems to be suggesting, right? They're saying that even though these companies are down, their long-term prospects are still strong.
Exactly. But like with any investment, there are risks and potential rewards to consider. It's important to do your homework and understand the factors at play.
So no rash decisions, got it. But let's say someone is interested in exploring these investment opportunities further. What are some of the key things they should be looking at?
One of the most important things is the competitive landscape. AI is a hot market, and there are a lot of companies vying for a piece of the pie. You need to assess whether a company has a sustainable advantage, something that sets them apart from the competition.
Like Nvidia's dominance in the GPU market or Marvell's focus on custom solutions.
Exactly. You want to see evidence of innovation, a strong track record, and a clear strategy for navigating this rapidly changing market.
So it's not just about jumping on the AI bandwagon. It's about choosing companies that are well-positioned to succeed in the long run. What about the broader economic climate? We've seen how market volatility can impact even the strongest companies.
That's another crucial consideration. Things like inflation, interest rates, and even global supply chain issues can all affect a company's performance. It's important to look beyond the hype and really dig into the fundamentals.
That makes sense. So it's not just about chasing the hottest trend. It's about making informed decisions based on solid research and a clear understanding of the risks involved.
That's the key. And that's what we're trying to do with this deep dive.
Yeah.
Give you the information and the different angles to help you make your own informed decisions.
That's the key. And that's what we're trying to do with this deep dive. Give you the information and the different angles to help you make your own informed decisions.
Exactly. We're not giving financial advice here, but we're giving you the tools to think critically about these opportunities.
Exactly. So we've talked about Nvidia, we've talked about Marvell. Both of them are, kind of taking a hit in the market right now. But the Motley Fool is saying, don't panic. This might actually be a good thing.
Right. They're saying this dip could be a buying opportunity.
Exactly. Because their long-term prospects are still really strong. But, as with any investment, you got to be smart about it. You got to do your research.
Absolutely. You can't just jump in blindly. You need to understand the risks, the potential rewards, and all the factors that could influence a company's performance.
So let's break that down a bit.
Right.
What are some of the key things that people should be looking at when they're evaluating these AI chip companies?
Well, one of the most important things is the competitive landscape. Like we said, AI is a hot market right now, and there are a lot of companies trying to get a piece of the action.
Right. It's like a gold rush.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to ask yourself, does this company have a sustainable advantage? What sets them apart from the competition?
Like Nvidia's dominance in the GPU market or Marvell's focus on custom solutions?
Exactly. Those are good examples.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see evidence of innovation, a strong track record, and a clear strategy for navigating this rapidly changing market.
So it's not just about jumping on the AI bandwagon. It's about choosing companies that are well-positioned to succeed in the long run. What about the broader economic climate? We've seen how market volatility can impact even the strongest companies.
That's another crucial consideration. Things like inflation, interest rates, even global supply chain issues, all of that can affect a company's performance.
Yeah.
You got to look beyond the hype and really dig into the fundamentals.
That makes sense. So it's not just about chasing the hottest trend. It's about making informed decisions based on solid research and a clear understanding of the risks involved.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good takeaway for any investment, not just AI chips. Do your homework, understand the market, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here at the Deep Dive. We want to give you the information you need to make smart decisions.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, knowledge is power.
Absolutely. So let's wrap this up by talking about the bigger picture for a minute. We've been focusing on the investment side of AI chips, but this technology has implications that go way beyond the stock market.
Oh, absolutely. This is about more than just making money. This is about how AI is going to transform our world.
Exactly. We're talking about healthcare, transportation, education, even the way we interact with each other on a daily basis.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
It is, and it's a little bit scary, too. There are a lot of ethical questions that we need to be thinking about as this technology develops.
Absolutely. We need to be having those conversations now to make sure that AI is used responsibly and for the benefit of humanity.
Exactly. So, to our listeners out there, as you go about your day, keep those questions in mind. How do you see AI chips changing your industry? What opportunities do you see? What challenges do you anticipate?
And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. There's so much more to learn and explore.
Absolutely. So keep digging, keep asking questions, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of tech and finance.
This has been so interesting. I feel like before we started this deep dive, I knew AI chips were a big deal, but now I really see how much they're going to impact, everything.
Yeah, it's not just about, faster computers and better graphics. This is about a fundamental shift in how technology works and what it can do.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes this whole thing so exciting and a little bit scary at the same time.
Oh, definitely. There's a huge potential for good. AI can help us solve some of the world's biggest problems, but there are also some serious risks that we need to be aware of.
Right. Like we were talking about earlier, those ethical questions about how AI is developed and how it's used, it's not something we can just ignore.
Absolutely. We need to be having those conversations now before it's too late. It's like with any powerful technology, it can be used for good or for bad. It all depends on us. So I think that's a good takeaway for our listeners. As you go about your day, think about the role that AI is already playing in your life, and then imagine how much bigger that role is going to become in the next few years.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Challenge the assumptions, dig deeper, and really try to understand the implications of this technology because it's going to affect all of us.
Exactly. And that's what we're all about here on the Deep Dive. We want to spark those conversations and give you the tools to think critically about the world around you.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep asking those tough questions.
That's right. And until next time, stay curious out there.